The north face of Mount Everest, a 9,000-foot sheet of ice and rock, has enthralled climbers and skiers for decades. Some have died trying, and no one has skied down until a group of elite mountaineers made the journey. Trailblazing mountain climber and skier Jim Morrison enlisted Oscar-winning filmmakers Jimmy Chin and Chai Vassarelli to document the feat. Lilia Luciano sat down with Jim and Jimmy just 2 weeks after they completed the holy grail of climbing, and for Morrison, a ski run no one had ever done before.
We made it to the top of the world, and I got to ski down.
Jim Morrison and Jimmy Chin had already achieved the impossible.
Top of the world!
Morrison and his wife Hillary Nelson were the first to ski down Mount Lhotse in the Himalayas.
Another 500 feet to the summit.
Chin, along with mountaineers Conrad Anker and Renan Osterk, were the first to summit the notorious Shark's Fin on India's Meru Peak, which he documented in the film Meru.
Alex is having the best day of his life.
He also reached the pinnacle of filmmaking, winning an Oscar for directing the documentary Free Solo.
Oh, God. You too.
But there was one obsession that captured both mountain athletes for decades: summiting, and for Morrison, skiing down the north face of Mount Everest.
It is the biggest, most technically challenging, not just ski descent, but climb on the biggest face on the tallest mountain on Earth. There is no other harder or bigger or scarier line on the planet.
It is the holy grail.
It is the
of mountaineering.
There's only one. That is the one.
Last year, Jim and Jimmy led 12 people on the summit.
All made it down, all safely, all 10 fingers and toes. It was a really miraculous adventure.
The north side of Mount Everest goes up 29,000 feet, darker, colder, and far more exposed than other routes.
There's never a break.
There's no place to hide, meaning that if there's avalanches or rockfall, it can be quite dangerous.
So dangerous, it's only potentially climbable during a tiny window that happens once a year, and it had effectively been taken off the map.
The mountain had been closed for 5 years. So we literally had to get the mountain reopened. The north face of Everest had been closed for something like 15 years. So not only did we have to get the mountain open, the next step was to get the north face of Everest opened.
They attempted climbs twice in the last 3 years, thwarted by storms and crew issues. Their third and final try was last October.
We went back with the dream team and had a just exceptional run up this historic route on the north face of Everest and got to the top.
But for Morrison, the true test was still uncharted.
My friends were up there celebrating and taking selfies and really excited to be at the summit of Mount Everest, coming up the direct north face. And that's when I strapped into my skis and had the challenge of, okay, how am I going to make this first turn? And how am I going to make the second turn?
For the next 4 hours, he would be all alone with zero margin for error.
Any slip, any mistake.
That's it.
I was going 9,000 feet to the bottom.
So you were ready for that?
I was well prepared for that.
We call it no-fall zone, where you can't make a single mistake. If you blow an edge or you lose your balance at all, you're gone. It's the equivalent of skiing's free soloing.
There's also moments where I want to stop turning and I want to go over to the rope and I want to use the rope to get down, but I think, wait a second, I'm here right now. This is my life's dream. It's happening. I'm going to make 2 more turns right here.
The dream wasn't his alone. Making it was also a promise to his wife, Hillary.
This is one of the reasons I love being in the mountains. It's just beautiful.
The couple spoke with CBS Mornings in 2019.
I think we've been through enough experiences that we really appreciate it's just being in the moment.
3 years later, Hillary died while mountaineering.
Hillary was my partner in life and in the mountains, and she fell climbing and skiing on Manaslu, another 8,000 meter peak in Nepal, and lost her life doing the sport that she loved.
And this was a shared dream that the two of you had.
This was a shared project that we had worked on together and conceived together, and I felt determined to try to complete it.
Sadly, losing Hillary wasn't his first lesson turning grief into grit.
In 2011, my wife and kids were killed in a plane crash. And at one point, I was able to step over the crack at the top of my driveway. And that was an extraordinary milestone for me. I was so proud of myself for just making that step forward.
It's in those steps that he hopes his legacy will become a message to anyone.
I hope that people walk away with a spring in their step and a renewed sense of confidence that they can go out and achieve their dreams.
And that extraordinary journey on Mount Everest will live on. A world-class mountaineering and film crew risked it all to document it. Chin hopes to release that film later this year.
For us, for the rest of us who have been on this journey with Jim, to see him execute at that level was extraordinary in itself, but to see him come out the other side and the relief, it is the most significant ski descent that you can do on planet Earth.
I tend to just stay focused on what I can do right now and where I can go now and what I can accomplish. And setting goals for myself and trying to achieve great things is something I've always been good at, and here I tried to shoot for the stars.
Once you have reached the summit of your dream and the dream of any mountaineer for generations, what's next?
The day after we skied from the top of the world down the North Face, the wind blew, erased all the tracks, erased the whole thing, and it's just back to nature. If you spend your whole life trying to achieve this, you paint a line down the mountain and the wind blows it all away and it's just back to Mount Everest.
Like it never happened.
Yeah.
He aimed for the stars and landed on top of the world. For CBS Saturday Morning, I'm Lilia Luciano in New York.